Welcome. If you haven't joined us before, we're glad to have you. I'm Becky from Avelina. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Okay. And if for whatever reason you can't see my video, just let me know. But anyways, like I said, I'm Becky from Avelina, and this month, I'm really excited about this because this is a lot of things that we've been hearing from brands that we talk with and brands that we work with, issues that they've had in the past. This is something that comes up over and over again, and that is the topic of unauthorized sellers on Amazon. Okay, so next we're going to talk about myths of getting rid of unauthorized sellers. So just about as common as brands having issues with unauthorized sellers, these myths, for some reason, they've just been spread around and they seem to catch on as if they're true. So that's kind of why we wanted to break down for you a few things that are just basically myths that we kind of hear as common things. So the first myth that, now I will say, some of the myths are because, there's always outdated information on Amazon. So even if I were to share something with you today, in a week from now or even tomorrow, Amazon could change a policy that they have, and the information that I shared that was true as of today could be outdated, since this video has been released, or just this information is sometimes just flat out wrong, which is what we'll see here. So I think that one of the best ways is to always go to the source itself. So that's why, we have our team is always reading up and staying up to date on Amazon's policies, because they're always changing. So if you're not so sure about something, you can go to the source itself, go to Amazon, and find out yourself what it is. They have, inside Seller Central. If you have an account already, you can look in there and search in there. But you'll always want to make sure, because like I said, even something I say could become outdated information. All that to say, these are actually just myths, though, that we found. So the first myth number one, is if I ask people not to resell on Amazon, they won't. Unfortunately, even when you explicitly state we do not allow Amazon sellers, there are people that may have another way of getting your products by saying they have their own website, or they have a brick and mortar, or some other way that they can say, hey, no, we sell this way. And you think, well, I've told people in my, agreement that you can't resell on Amazon. They think, okay, people just won't. Unfortunately, that is a myth. We have found that even when people are told you cannot resell it on Amazon, they will still purchase it sometimes, and they will resell it, especially if they're seeing a quick profit that they can make on your products. This is especially true if your product is very popular and you're noticing you're getting a lot of emails from people wanting to buy your products wholesale. Be very aware, and they only really do things online. Your product most likely is doing very well on Amazon, and you probably are already aware of that because of all the inquiries you've been receiving. But that's just something to be aware of. Unfortunately, even when you ask people to not resell there, sometimes they won't listen. Now, another myth is I can report them to Amazon if I don't remember giving them authorization to resell my products. So, a lot of times they'll think that there's, a report a violation tool inside Amazon Seller Central. They'll think, oh, I can just report them as violating it because I didn't authorize them to resell my products and I don't know who they are. Well, unfortunately, going back to kind of how people are getting your products, let's say they bought your products legitimately through one of your distributors, and they actually have your product. So it is really your product. It's not a counterfeit. It is your product, and they can show invoices where they bought it maybe from your distributor or even from you, and they have that proof to Amazon. Amazon will allow them to sell it. That does not, even if you report people, if they have a legitimate invoice. And Amazon really cares about their customers first and foremost. So as long as they know that it's an actual product, that their customers, it's the right product, it's, you know, it's not a fake product, it is that product, and they're seeing that on an invoice or receipt of proof, they're going to allow that reseller to continue to sell. So Amazon really won't police that because they allow it, their marketplace, to really be a place where anyone can sell your products. And so they have that kind of open catalog. And so just be mindful of that reporting them will not get them off of your listing. So if you've heard that, that is a myth. That's really not a good way to go about it too, because people will just submit, if they've legitimately bought your products, they'll just submit it, and you would have just wasted your time and energy running after something that's not really helpful. Another myth is if I brand register, all unauthorized sellers will get off my listing, or they'll even, like, some people have even thought that they'll just get booted off automatically, as if brand registry is the same thing as brand gating, which it's not. Brand gating is not as common. It's a lot of times for very large, like large brands and products that Amazon has had a lot of legitimate issues with it not being the actual product. So brand registry is different than brand gating. So when you brand register, which we really recommend, it's a great thing to do for your brand if you have a live trademark, but it will not just kick off all of the unauthorized sellers, unfortunately. That's not the way it works. They are still allowed to be on your listing with you. Brand registry will help, though. They won't be, it's harder for other third-party sellers to make product listing changes. That is just, you know, something, but even that, sometimes some people are still able to change listings. So it just makes it harder. So that's just, those are some 3 myths that we just keep hearing that people think are true, that just are not.